Leah Lawrence.
And I'm her husband, Mitch Lawrence.
And you are listening to the Southern Spirits Podcast, where I regale my husband with Southern stories of the macabre, creepy, and strange.
And I drink.
What are we drinking tonight, Mitchell?
Our beer tonight is Rainbow Serpent, Raspberry Pineapple Lime, and Vanilla Sour Ale. This is from Beltline Brewing, LLC, also known as Orifice Brewing, in Atlanta, Georgia. 6% alcohol by volume, and nothing on the can, so let's read the online description. You ready?
I'm ready for whatever pretentiousness this is about to ensue.
It's not near as bad as their other ones.
Really?
Let's get into it. We'll talk about it later. Okay, ready? A transformation of serpent bite. We added juicy raspberry, pineapple, and lime to our dry hopped sour ale, then softened it with rich vanilla. A kaleidoscope of flavors with a puckering bite at the end. Rainbow Serpent is a reminder that pretty things can sting. End quote. So what Leah's referring to is they normally have some kind of really pretentious quote that goes along with their beers, and they may have that on the Serpent Bite, which is obviously the base beer that this is.
Which I guarantee they do.
This is a limited series, so I don't know. We don't have the Serpent Bite. We have the Rainbow Serpent.
Look, these are the same people that brought you the transmigration of the soul.
Of
you
souls.
know, like
multiple souls.
Souls, multiple, yeah.
Right.
Like,
Let's get back to this beer right now.
Go ahead.
This beer is.
I'll go off on Orpheus after
go.
this.
This beer is heavy on the lime flavor. Not much else comes through except for a little bit of vanilla. So if you like lime, this is for you. Other than that, it's really crisp, and it is bursting with that flavor. It's just, you got to really like lime to be really into it. I like it. I'm not a huge fan, but I do like it. So what do you have to say? You tried it.
Yeah, it's very limey. It just tastes like lime juice to me. I'm not a huge lime fan, but yeah, I can appreciate the citrus, the sour. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not something that I would personally pick out, but it is very drinkable if you like lime flavors and sours and stuff like that. It's good.
It's fine. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. I would definitely try it again. I'm not going to go out of my way to do it, though. It's not one of those I'm going to seek out.
I always loved their can art, though, because it is really kind of epic looking kind of stuff. So this one is really nice. Pretty can. It's done really well, but y'all.
And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the can. Not in great high-def quality, but you can see it.
You can. But for me, Orpheus is the kind of company that I would have been really into, like 9th grade kind of era.
Why?
Just not because of the alcohol content, but the branding, just because I was super into because I of course was the kid that decided that Latin was a good idea in high school, and I was really into classical mythology and learning the etymology and the terms and all the folklore from a very early age was my jam.
Leah.
But then I got very specifically into very pretentious,
Leah, the alcohol section is not a place for this. You save this for the Leah top.
I'm just saying that this company is incredibly pretentious, and they want you to think that this beer is just this elevating experience.
No, I think they're having fun with it.
It's just beer, y'all. It's good beer. It's fun packaging. But every can that you read from there, it's just so fucking pretentious that it makes me want to kick myself from 10th grade when I felt like I was that kind of person. I don't know.
Our shot in the dark for the night, dark chocolate coffee Appalachian Sippin cream. Now this one is fantastic and has every right to be pretentious if it wanted to be. Produced and bottled by Sugarlands Distilling Company LLC in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. 20% alcohol by volume. We had it on a few weeks ago, so if you'd like to hear the full review, refer to episode 139 called Social Diseases. And this got a 10 out of 10. It's fantastic. I can't wait to have some more of it, personally. Leah. Yeah. So that's it for the alcohols, I believe. And you can get into why you think everything that Orpheus does is pretentious.
Because it is. Have you met them? It is. Just is.
No, but I've said before that a couple of my friends have worked for them.
Which is great. That live in Atlanta. Sure it's a great company to work for and all of that. But it's pretentious. And it's fine. I get it. But it's pretentious.
Well, I don't know if they had anything to do with the pretentiousness of the quotes. One of them I know did actually work in the brewery. Another one ran trivia for them for a little while. He would do it, I think, every Monday night or something like that. He would go and do the trivia for them.
So probably not the guys writing copy, which is fine.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think so. But again, I don't know. So, Stanley, if you did that, let me. He's the kind of guy that would do it, though, because it'd be funny. He is the kind of guy.
That's what, like, if they're being earnest in this branding, it's pretentious as fuck. If they are really overdoing it just because they think it's funny, I'm fine with it.
I'm almost positive that's what it is.
It doesn't give me that vibe, but okay. It's fine.
Well,
it's fine.
Knowing the two people I know that have been involved, affiliated with them, I would say that it's, hey, look at this funny thing that I wrote. Let's put it on a can.
I don't see that, but all right.
Well, I also don't see any brewers being overly philosophical, so.
I have.
Yeah. Well,
anybody that I know
I
that like has homebrewed and like has really gotten into it can philosophize with the best of them. So.
Okay.
Anyway.
I'll take your word for it.
I will allow you to take my word for it because I don't need to get into that.
What's next, Leah?
We have a postcard.
Listener mail.
Listener mail.
Listener mail.
Listener mail.
Yep. No sound effects.
I have a lovely postcard here. It's got a fox drinking wine on the front of it, reading a book, and it says,
Make sure you don't give away that person's address, by the way.
That's our address on the front.
Okay. What's on the back there, though, that you just flashed to the camera?
The address of the place it's just the location.
Okay.
Their address is not on the card. I made sure.
Good.
And it is written in sparkly gel pen, and I am living for it.
God, I miss gel pens.
Gel pens were the best, and the sparkly ones, that was like teen girl gold back in the day. But
I loved them too.
Yeah,
I was not a teen girl.
Oh yeah, no, I
loved them.
I was a Jelly Roll Milky Pen stan, but anyway,
Milky Pens. That's the word I was gonna ask you.
Yeah,
they were called something specific.
Yeah, it
was Milky Pens.
The pastel ones that wrote on black the best were called Milky Pens.
Yeah, I remember
they were by Pentel, and then the Jelly Roll ones were another one that were really popular. But anyway. I love pens. Anyway,
fucking way better than colored pencils.
Yeah, much better,
by the way.
But anyway, this is, by the way, in glittery gel pen, and I'm loving it.
Okay.
Anyway, this says, "Hi, Mitch and Leah.
Hi.
So we purchased this card at Scumpernong."
Nice.
Scumpernong Books in Greensboro a few weeks ago. Okay. But I'm glad we couldn't be bothered to purchase stamps until after we learned about Leah's affliction pronouncing Scumpernong. Fuck y'all. Sucks. Anyway, been hoping to find an appropriate card since the disappointment of not finding any in Chunky, Mississippi. Oh. I think the fox is the mascot at Scumpernong Books. All of the cards show him doing hashtag activities, Yay. But this one seemed the most apropos. Sick. And it says, ring, ring, beach trip, Sam and Brian. And it also says, P.S. We're moving here. Forgot to mention that part.
Oh, they are? Yeah. They're moving to the beach.
Yeah.
Well,
Greensboro. Is Greensboro on the beach? I know nothing about North Carolina.
Is Greensboro South Carolina, is it not?
It says North Carolina on the card.
Maybe there's two Greensboros. Who'd have thunk it?
I don't fucking know. But I'm pretty sure it's for some higher education situations. So congratulations to both of you. I'm super excited for your grand adventure, your trip to Greensboro. You're moving to Greensboro. So
getting out of Alabama.
Exactly.
I'm happy for you.
Anyway, congratulations. We're super happy for you and have a fantastic time in Greensboro.
Yeah.
And thank you for the little fox card. And I'm not going to say the S word again because I can't.
Scumpernong.
But it is an adorable card. And he looks just so chill and relaxed.
Here,
reading a book, drinking a glass of wine. And it says Scup.
Oh, that's
which is
amazing,
adorable.
Actually. Let's see if we can
How
get that.
How cute is that?
Stand up. You probably can't see that on our 1987 camcorder that we have for our...
It's not quite that bad, but it's
a box camcorder.
The video quality's not great. It's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, there you go. Y'all can see it on the YouTube video.
But yeah, so anyway.
It's a really cool picture.
It is a lovely illustration. Anyway, who's ready for Sassy Southern Sayings? I assume not you.
Go ahead.
Do you want me to just stop doing these?
Go ahead.
Because I can.
No, I actually really enjoy these. Okay. I was just being my hilarious self.
Lols.
Go for it.
Anyway, so this week we're going to be doing a phrase that's pretty well known.
Okay.
Yeah. So the phrase is high on the hog.
High on the hog?
High on the hog.
Yeah, okay. Okay, yes, I have heard that one. I know it just means pretentious, essentially. It means you think you're better than this person, that person. But I don't know where the fuck it came from. So it could also mean that you have a little pet monkey that you sit up high in a saddle on your hogs that you ride around your farm.
Generally,
your
monkeys
monkey and
ride
pig
dogs,
farm.
not pigs.
Your
but
joint
anyway.
monkey and pig farm. Yeah, that's somewhere I would pay to go. Is it a petting zoo? Is it just where you harvest bacon to feed the monkeys?
That's real weird, man.
You harvest the monkeys to feed the pigs.
Who knows? Pigs will eat anything. But high on the hog.
Monkey bacon. Think about that.
No, thank you. High on the hog can also mean that you're living your best life, that kind of thing, or you're living beyond your means sometimes. Someone's living high on the hog. But basically, the phrase came from the fact that the best cuts of meat are on a pig. Are on the higher portions of the pig.
No,
So
I agree with your first statement. The best cuts of meat are on a pig. In general.
I like them all. But the highest pig, so like the upper back and the upper leg are where, you're going to get your pork chops and your bacon and stuff like that.
Shoulder.
And yeah, exactly. All of the finer quality cuts of meat. The more expensive stuff is on the top of a pig, whereas the pork belly and the trotters and stuff like that are the less, expensive portions of the pig.
Why the fuck does pork belly cost so much when you go somewhere?
Well, because the things have flip-flopped. It used to be something that nobody ever wanted to touch because it was poor people meat, because it was all fatty and stuff. But then people realized, that's where the flavor is, and etc.
I was going to say, that's the D word.
Yeah.
Like, we talked about it before, but Lee's grandmother buys 2% fat content beef. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? This shit tastes awful. It's all grainy.
She does it specifically because they prefer that. I don't know why.
I don't think they do. I think they had it once and never tried anything else.
It's mostly she does it because she thinks that my grandfather has heart health issues, which he never has. But I mean, maybe that's because they use no fat in their meat.
It's because they had lean ground beef their whole lives.
Yeah, I guess.
But there's nothing better on a steak than a real fatty oh my god.
I'm not overly attached to super fatty pieces of meat, but it needs
also,
to have a little bit of fat
are.
content.
Fucking Exhibit A.
I mean, sure. In people.
Overly fat.
Not to eat.
Pieces of meat. Yeah.
But so I'm just saying that anyway. But things have switched now as to what are the most desirable cuts of meat. But back in the day, pork chops, bacon, all of that stuff comes from the top side of the meat. So that's when you're living high on the hog, you've got money to burn. You're feeling fancy. You're getting the good stuff. So that's, and also one of the weird, odd phrases that actually originated in the United States and not overseas, because a lot of the things that we say actually originated in England and Ireland and were brought over here. Yeah. This one, purely American.
Wow.
Fun.
Really weird.
Yeah.
But we just had some bacon for dinner. I made waffles, peanut butter waffles in the Thermomix. Oh my God, Leah! I gotta find where that was.
Oh shit! I said it.
Why? What's your deal?
Well, you said, and then
Yeah, it's my fault.
It was really good.
Okay. It was.
I'm sorry.
That's my favorite thing about bacon, is that you don't have to do anything to it. You seriously just heat it up.
Yeah.
And it's ready to go.
It seasons itself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is, I guess, pre-seasoned. And
I'm
that's
sure
the point.
it is. I don't know how that works. I don't want to know how that works, because I have a feeling that if I ever did know how that worked, I would no longer eat it. And I don't want that in my life, just because I have anxiety already. And
Well, bacon's one of my favorite things to cook, because you don't have to try. You just heat it up and it's ready to go.
And I personally like it burnt. So you could just sort of forget about it for me for a little bit and I'll be happy.
That and Goolsby's breakfast sausage.
It's a good brand.
That shit is good. Get a big old box of it at Costco. Come home, eat half of it.
We've never done that.
No, but I'm planning on it. Y'all. Okay, so if you've been listening, you know that we're going back to Mexico, the same resort that we went to for our honeymoon on our 5-year anniversary coming up soon. And I got it in my head 2 weeks ago. Not 2 weeks ago, about a month and a half ago, that I'm going to lose a whole bunch of weight because I got to fit in that plane seat. And I'm telling you, the second we get back from Mexico, I'm eating half a box of Goolsby. I'm telling you. I'm not even trying. I've already lost 20 pounds. I'm on the way. I'm feeling good. I'm still going to squeeze into that seat. Leah and I just today got our belt extenders. We ordered them on Amazon. we were given the piece of advice to not get on the plane and ask for the belt extender. Just go ahead and have one, because it might be a while when they get back to you. It's embarrassing. But my thought is it more embarrassing to ask for it on the plane or to bring one on the plane? Either way, we've got them and we're bringing them on the plane.
I mean, I would personally rather have my own, especially like I don't want to touch things that other people have touched a lot. I don't want to, know, and it's something that I know that I can have for myself. I know that I'm going to need one. I'm a fat bitch. It's fine. Everybody knows that I'm going to use one anyway. At least I have my own. I'm prepared.
They see us coming in the terminal. They're like, get the extender.
Like I said.
And then you walk on and you just like flash it, getting on the plane like, bitch, I come prepared. Listen.
No, it's honestly, I don't want to bother flight attendants. It's one of those things for me that I feel more prepared and better about it. Bringing my own on, I'm a fat person. We know that. I don't want to cause any more trouble, because it's like if they kick me off a plane just for being fat, it's going to suck really hard. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to mitigate all of the irritation that I could possibly provide. That's it. We specifically pick seats right next to each other so we don't inconvenience anybody else. We hope
but then we also don't have any room. Yeah, because we're right next to each other.
Because we're right next to each other. We're both huge. So like I said, we're attempting to be the best fat passengers that we possibly can be. But for
our fat travel vlog that we're gonna do.
If we're gonna rotund ramblings.
No, Leah, you told me about your ideas. No. Rotund ramblings doesn't work. Fat vloggers, that's it. That's it.
I need something more alliterative than fat travel vloggers.
No, just fat vloggers. You don't need to try that hard. You don't need to be overly cute and creative with it.
It
needs to be simple.
It's not overly cute. It's just I like to maintain branding.
Fat vloggers is all that needs to be.
I don't like it.
Well.
If anybody else has a better idea about a fat travel vlog name, I'm down to hear it.
Well,
because I think.
Speaking of all this, I just want to throw this out there that I don't remember a majority of last week's episode. I kind of blacked out. I know I talked about Body Glide for a long time.
You did. Oh my God! You should have cut all of that out.
Why? People out there need to be educated.
Jiggly Journeys.
Ooh, that's not bad. Okay, keep being cute with it.
Thank you.
That's not bad at all.
Oh.
Jiggly Journals.
Weighty Wanderings.
No, see, these are all ones you've thought up already. No, brainstorm some more. Get back to me. Bring it back.
All right, if anybody can figure out what we should call our fat people travel vlog, let me know. southernspirits.com or southernspirits@gmail.com. There we go.
Southern Spirits Podcast at gmail.com.
Y'all, I have made myself a strawberry daiquiri.
That's not it. That's not the problem. And she had her second shot yesterday, and she has not been feeling
that
good.
Too. I am fully vaccinated. Thanks. Yep. Well, I mean, I guess it's 2 weeks after you get your second shot that you're supposed to technically be fully vaccinated. But I've had both shots. I don't feel great right now, but fine.
At least you got a daiquiri.
Yeah, but now I have a daiquiri, and I'm a little all over the place, but we'll see how it works.
Warming up for Mexico.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so we are going to go to our very first story of the evening, and we're actually going to be talking about a haunted university, and we're just going to talk about a few of the hauntings on campus.
Okay. What university?
It is a historical college there in Charlotte, North Carolina, called Queen's University.
Oh, okay. I figured that would be in New York.
No. Queen's University is in Charlotte, North Carolina, and it's a private college. It's very expensive. Very, very expensive. It was founded in 1857 as the Charlotte Female Institute. Oh. And the college was originally sort of in a different location. I don't know enough about Charlotte to tell you the exact location, so I'm just going to leave it at it was in a different place originally, but they moved it because they got a better location, and when they moved it in 1896, they called it the Seminary for Girls, and then they moved it once again, I think, and anyway, basically, it's a Presbyterian college. It is a private university. In 1912, they ended up making this new campus, the campus that's there today at Myers Park in Charlotte. And like I said, it's a big, beautiful, it's not that big to be fair, but it's a beautiful historical campus. It's very well known. It's kind of a prestigious university to attend. But it was originally just a women's college. But after World War II happened, they started admitting men in, so it became coeducational in 1948.
Oh, that's nice.
And remains co-educational.
Co what?
Y'all, when I get stressed out or don't feel good, stuttering is a problem. It's been a problem with me for a long time. And after I had COVID, I've been experiencing even more stuttering problems. So this is frustrating as hell.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I know. I'm sorry.
But yeah, so if I stutter, I apologize, but I don't feel like editing it out, and I know Mitchell doesn't either, so if I'm stuttering, that's the problem.
I'm not gonna edit it.
No, I'm tired, and
you know.
COVID neurological symptoms still suck real hard. But anyway, it is still a coeducational university today. But we're going to be talking about some of the ghosties that are on campus.
Yay, ghosties.
So one of the most famous ones is in a building called Morrison Hall, and I believe it's like an administration building nowadays, but it used to be a women's dormitory. So this story starts out around, pretty close to the end of World War II. There was a girl that was living in that dorm, and her name was Clara, and she had a boyfriend that was a soldier who was overseas, and she decided that, I mean, he was great and all, but he wasn't here.
Yeah.
And there were other boys that were here.
Yeah.
And it was way easier to hang out with them than it was with him because, the whole overseas situation.
Yeah, I get it.
So.
Wasn't any Skype.
Yeah, there was letters that took forever to get there was about your only means of communication. And I mean, you might be writing a dude that had died in combat a couple weeks ago and you aren't going to know that he died for a couple months. You know what I mean? Serious issues with communication, and the long distance thing was a lot harder then, especially with war involved, than it is now. So I can see where that wasn't the greatest situation for her to find herself in, and she was like, look, not doing it anymore, just not. So she wrote herself a little Dear John letter, but either fortunately or unfortunately, I'm not sure, probably unfortunately because I know how this ends.
Jesus,
but she decided to write this Dear John letter, but it was so close to the end of the war that the letter never ended up getting delivered to him, because by the time that letter got to where it was going, the soldier was already on his way back home. So he never ended up getting the letter, and thus never realized that she had broken off their situation.
Okay.
So he comes
This is a rom-com.
home. Yeah,
this is a rom-com.
it's a problem. So he comes home and is like, hey, Clara.
Hey, bitch.
And so he comes to surprise her at her dormitory. And it turns out that she got a surprise of her own because she was with another dude.
Some guy was balls deep in Clara.
Maybe not that. I don't think that's... no one ever goes so far as to say that was happening, but...
Well, yeah. It's just a matter of which orifice at this point.
Which orifice is the title? I think we found it. Which orifice was it?
Yeah. We're going to do another game show.
No, it's not the shot in the dark. No.
Oh God.
That just created another orifice.
Oh.
Anyway, no. So her supposed to be ex-boyfriend, but he hadn't gotten the message yet, shows up, finds her with another guy, and he's absolutely heartbroken and furious. So here's where the two different stories sort of deviate. So some people say one thing, some people say the other. I'll tell you both, and you can make up your own mind as to which story is better to tell. But so some people say that he got so enraged and upset and jealous that he had caught her with this other man, that he ended up covering her mouth, sort of suffocating her, and he ended up kind of tying a bed sheet around her neck and pushed her over the banister of the stairwell, and kind of hung her Anyway,
No.
killed her. And then like left in a rage or whatever.
Just divorce me.
Yeah, right? I think she tried, but like,
look,
the postal service is a little iffy in wartime.
Look, I'm just saying. No one is worth that.
No, not at all.
No one.
And then the other people say that she was so embarrassed and so grief-stricken that she betrayed him, but like she didn't, because she had broken up with him. Like in her heart, she was doing
he just hadn't
the whole
gotten
thing.
the message.
Like he had just not gotten the message. This is totally his fault.
She's like, the whole time he's doing it, she's like, I broke up.
Like, we're not together anymore. Fuck off.
We were on a break the whole time.
But unfortunately, she, in this part of the story, she was very grief-stricken, and she was upset that she had, like, done this horrible thing to this poor GI that was coming back home, and
Yeah.
And so, basically, that part is that she committed suicide and she just hung herself over that same banister. But either way, the college did, in fact, there is still there like a floor-to-ceiling slat panel kind of situation that blocks access to that banister over the rail to keep anybody else from hanging themselves over the rail. So
Jesus.
That's the legend in that one. But they also say that she does still haunt Morrison Hall. And like I said, I believe now from some of the like interviews and school paper writings about this entity, they say that she does still haunt this place. It's an why can't I not say administration?
Snungdung. What's the name of that place?
Scumpernong.
Scuppernong or Scumpernong?
Scuppernong.
You picked up the card.
It's hard, y'all. It's hard. It's a hard word to say. I've never been able to say it.
Oh.
I don't know what to say.
It's not that hard.
Thanks.
Just spell it out or sound it out.
I did, but it still doesn't sound right in my mouth, and I don't like it. But anyway, so they say that Clara's ghost still fucks around and messes things up. She likes to shut doors and open doors, and computers randomly get turned off and turned back on and turned off and turned back on, which sounds like faulty wiring to me. You might want to check that out, but whatever. They say that she likes to like askew picture frames and mess up just randomly ghostly shit. You know, you'll hear footsteps and all that stuff. Nothing terribly frightening. It's more the...
Why don't ghosts ever like make some eggs or something?
Because I don't think there's a kitchen in that particular building.
Besides that, why do they always have to, like, why don't they sweep up? Why do you have to mess shit up all the time? I don't like this picture. I'm going to askew it. Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Do some dust the painting.
Well, I mean, I just don't think that's what her spirit was there to do.
Fuck her spirit.
I mean, I like the story. Well, not that I like it, but like it's a better story that he killed her and she's got this restless, fuck everybody energy.
Because she was doing that anyway.
Yeah.
She was fucking everybody.
I don't think she was like she tried to break up with him. She tried to do the right thing. She tried to say, hey, we're not. Yeah, but I mean, like there was nothing indicating in the story that she was hoeing around. She just didn't want to be with this dude that wasn't there. It's hard.
We don't slut shame.
I'm not slut shaming her. She can fuck whoever she wants. But I'm saying there's no indication.
She could fuck whoever she wants.
True.
So, do we know the guy's name?
No.
That was balls deep when he busted up in there?
No.
And the balls deep guy also busted up in there?
So gross. Claire is the only name in that story. Anyway, there's another ghost that we're going to talk about, and this one is a little bit older. This is a legend from Albright Hall, and apparently it starts sort of Civil War-y kind of time period. So this woman heads off to college at Queens, which was then called like Charlotte Female Seminary, one of the original names of the building. So she goes to school, and all of a sudden she's, in a new environment, and she starts having new experiences and has started living, independently, and she's had all these new ideas and awakening. And anyway, she realizes that
she's a lesbian, right?
Yeah, yeah. She has found an attraction.
I mean, I don't know what took you so long.
I was just trying to draw the story out. Anyway, she found another lady that she thought was hot stuff.
Yeah.
And she was like, she didn't realize that was like a thing that could happen. She didn't realize that was an option. And then she sees all these girls that aren't related to her, and she's like, well, fuck, I didn't, okay. So anyway, she starts a little romance.
A lesbian tryst.
Yeah, she was chumming around.
As it were. Yeah, she had a chum.
She was chumming around with one of her classmates. And apparently it became like a real big, like they really, were having a great time with each other. They loved each other, just hanging out. But unfortunately, her parents found out that she was having this illicit affair, this lesbian coupling, and the girl was really, 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 really shamed about it. Her parents threatened to disown her, and she just got in this shame spiral of depression, and she decided it was better not to hang around. So she did end up committing suicide by cutting her wrists. Shot in the dark.
Oh shit! I'm not ready. I'm sorry. I was putting down shame spiral as a potential episode title. Go ahead. Would you like a shot too? Should I pour two?
Yeah, probably. That stuff's God damn it.
Leah, I gotta find that now. Shit,
I'm so sorry.
You're gonna have to wait on the question.
I'll pour her the shot.
You'll pour the shot.
I'm sorry. I'm really bad at not saying things that I'm not supposed to say.
Really? Like what?
You don't want me to say it again, or you're gonna have to put it on BP.
Not that. Not that word. Just in general. What are you not allowed to say? Still.
I mean, there's lots of things that I'm not allowed to say at work. Particularly how I feel about the clients at any particular given time, but
yeah, you're a terrible person.
It's true. I'm the worst.
Yeah.
But at any rate, shot in the dark.
Yeah, I think I hit it, but let's just do it again.
Okay. The woman wrote something in blood on the wall as she died.
No.
What was it? Did she write A, a curse, B, her lover's name, or C, goodbye?
Oh, I thought you were going to say what it was. Okay.
No.
The phrase or word,
a curse,
whatever.
her lover's name, or goodbye.
Well, we all know lesbians love them curses, so I'm going to say it's a curse.
Incorrect. Oh. She wrote her lover's name. Bonus points if you can name me what her lover is named.
Well, let me have a couple guesses, okay?
Okay.
Angela, Pamela,
no.
Sandra, Rita.
No.
As I continue, you know they're getting sweeter.
No.
There you go.
And is this one of the ones? I'm trying to think of all of the girls' names.
All the chubs. A little bit of Monica, Erica.
Something Rita. I don't know. It was Julie. I don't think Julie's in there.
I think Julie might be in the song.
It?
I'm gonna real quick. I'm gonna Google.
I need to know Lou Bega's list of chums. I'm sorry.
All names. Wait, no. Names in Mambo. All the names in Mambo number 5. Like, there's a Google list ready. All right, let's see here.
Who the fuck spent that much time to make a Google list of
Monica,
that?
Erica, Rita, Tina, Sandra, Mary, Jessica. That's it.
That's it? Okay, yeah. No Julie, but it was Julie.
That's the chorus, though. And then at the end, it's Angela, Pamela, Sandra, and Rita. And as I continue, you know they're getting sweeter.
So what can I do? Really thank Google you, list. Lord.
Me flirting is just like a sport.
Can you stop?
The trumpet. All right, here we go.
Oh, bless it.
That is a wonderful shot.
Yeah, she wrote her lover's name, which was Julie.
Yeah.
So as she laid sort of dying and bleeding out in her bed, she just smeared the name Julie over her wall, which, to be fair, is a little bit of a bitch move because, like, what if they didn't know which girl it was and she was just, like, outing her lesbian lover?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like now
that,
Julie's got to kill herself.
Yeah, Julie's going to have a problem as well. So, like, that's kind of a bitch move if you ask me.
Good thing is, Julie is kind of a common name. So her lover, Julie, could be like, no, is that bitch over there? This is the other Julie.
Then it's going to be a weird Julie lesbian witch hunt, and it's going to be a problem.
Okay.
I don't like it.
Oh, man. Big Lesbian Witch Hunt is the name that we are looking for.
No, we've already picked which orifice. Anyway, so yeah, the whole writing the name in blood on the wall happened. So the story is that the haunting still occurs to where she's still wandering around the halls, and it is, I believe, a women's dormitory still. Kids still say that,
Excuse me.
Her apparition is wandering the halls. They'll see blood dripping from her hands. They'll say that they see the word Julie sort of appear over their beds, and normal like haunted scare the freshman dorm shit. Kind of gross.
Yeah, real gross. Note for everybody out there, if you die, don't go smearing your blood everywhere.
It's unsanitary,
Let it pool. It's easier to clean up.
Yeah, let it coagulate.
Also, it might drip through the floor and people find you quicker.
But also, maybe, and I don't know about this, just see a therapist and talk to someone, because we would much rather you be here and getting help.
I was saying more so if you weren't... I was joking. I wasn't talking about committing suicide.
I understand.
I was saying,
just to put that out there, there are helplines available. If anybody's having those feelings, please go talk to somebody.
I also was not being serious whatsoever. Yeah,
well, just putting it out there. Anyway, so another kind of awful suicide-y kind of ghost sighting on the campus there. They say that there's another ghost that people report seeing a lot. And it's the kind of apparition of sort of the silhouette of a hanging man that was hanging from a tree in the courtyard. And apparently people see this so frequently that it's not uncommon for people to not understand or know that it's an apparition, and they freak out and they think a student has hung themselves in the courtyard. So they call campus police and they're like, hey, someone's hung themselves on the quad. You might want to go check this out. And, they show up and obviously nobody's there. It was a apparition. And some people think that it was like Civil War era, that it might have been a soldier that got hung there. But some people researched it and they don't think the timelines match up, and they think it was like someone after World War II that was probably a GI that like had shell shock and ended up committing suicide there. So could be one, could be the other, but it's generally believed to be the ghost of a man that was hung in that place. So that's not great, but anyway, those are 3 ghostly stories from Queen's University in Charlotte, and the sources that I used from that are an article from styleblueprint.com, Only in Your State, charlottemagazine.com, and our good friend Wikipedia.
Yeah, the best.
The peds.
I didn't like that at all. Oh, the peds. Look at that. I don't know why, but that fucking bothered me.
I'm sorry.
Something got under my skin when you said that.
I apologize.
Ugh. Well, all right.
Okay.
What, you trying to figure out what to do?
No.
Second story.
I'm saying.
I'm letting you know. Second story.
Okay. I mean, I was going to ask, are you ready for the second story? But all right.
I'm ready. I was more ready than you are.
Okay. So we are going to Texas for this one. And this one's kind of interesting. Also, just sad and terrifying. Aww. But, it's going to be fun because it's Texas. Anyway, so we are going to be talking about something that, disclaimer here, a lot of the words are in Spanish here, and I'm bad. As we have established, I'm not great at pronouncing things properly.
Yeah.
I have looked on YouTube as to how to pronounce these things, and I've tried, and I'm probably still going to say them all wrong. So,
hold on.
Up front, we are going to acknowledge the fact that I am a little inebriated, very tired, and already bad at saying things correctly.
No. I will accept no excuses because y'all, Leah has been competing on Duolingo and she is consistently number 1 in her group. And she's like, I've learned so much more Spanish now than I did in 2 years in college.
Which is true.
Okay. Well, then your excuses are bullshit.
Yes, but I can say I have a brown jacket and I need a pen.
That sounded like English to me. Do I know Spanish?
You don't.
What the fuck was that? Did I just learn Spanish? I haven't been doing any Duolingo. Am I getting it tangentially through you?
Yo tengo un chaqueta marrón.
Okay, no, I didn't get that, so.
I have a brown jacket.
Okay. No, I didn't get that. Also, I'm pretty sure you said I have a maroon jacket.
No, maroon is brown. But anyway, so like I said, disclaimer, everything's going to sound wrong here if you actually know what I'm talking about. So I apologize, but I'm still going to talk about it. So we are going to be talking about the Presidio La Bahia. Bahia? Golidad. I can't
Holy
say any
shit.
of this shit.
How many words are in that sentence that you just said?
4.
Okay. All right. No. There were like 15 words. It's
Presidio La Bahia.
Okay.
I think is how you say it. And it's in Golidad, Texas.
Okay.
This is going to be a hard one. Anyway, so we're talking about sort of on the banks of the San Antonio River. It's supposed to be really lovely down there. But this particular, it's kind of like a fort. It started out as like a Spanish fort.
Under the table, Dobby is dick-footing me right now.
Yeah, he's a bad dog.
I'm so upset. If you're new to the show, our little dog likes to rest his penis on things.
Because it gets cold.
Because it gets cold is all that we can think of. And he's doing it right now. He's just straddling my foot.
He's a weirdo. Anyway, so the Presidio La Bahia has actually been there since 1749, so it's a pretty old situation. It is now a museum, a church, and a spooky little Airbnb situation. And so, it's going to be a fun story. What are you doing?
I'm getting the dog. He wants to come up and rest his penis on the table.
You're such a weirdo. Can we get on with the story? This is already hard enough when I can't say half of the words.
I've done nothing to interrupt you.
You've moved the table that I have my notes on.
Yeah, it's not important.
Yeah, it is.
Look, it's back.
Jesus.
You're good to go. Bobby's up for his weekly appearance.
Y'all,
Don't lick that, buddy.
I'm about to give up. This is about to be a one-story
Dobby, no.
situation.
God damn it. He licked my shot glass.
Anyway.
He got the liquor out of it.
So, so the Presidio La Bahia was originally a Spanish fort, and it was originally built there to sort of make sure that the mining places, like the mining places.
Yeah, the mining places.
The mining places.
The places that they mine. What are those called?
Mines. So the mines in the area were protected because a lot of French colonists were in that area. But eventually the French colonists moved out. They were like, we don't want to fuck with Texas. So they left, and the Texas territory was in Spanish control pretty, easily, and so it didn't really need to be the fort that it was meant to be, and so it became like a real hub of economy. It was a trading post. It was just a big sort of economic hub for this area, and the fort ended up growing the town around it. So the town's called Golitad, and it was just a really nice big, it wasn't a huge town, but it was like a nice town that built up around it. A very vibrant community. And the only church in the area was the fort's chapel. And the chapel was called Our Lady of Loretto. And it was, just a basic bare bones chapel, but it was meant to be the church for the soldiers and all of their families and the townsfolk. And because that was the only church with the only consecrated church ground for miles and miles and miles, pretty much everybody that died in that area that was Catholic, which was the predominant religion in the area, basically everybody was buried there. So there's hundreds and hundreds of graves that are marked, some are unmarked, just, completely unrelated to some of the horrific things that happened there later. So you've already got hundreds and hundreds of years of, people being buried and living their lives in this area before some of the bad shit that's about to happen that I'm about to tell you about happened. So, we've already got layers of history and, dead people building before any of this awful stuff happens.
Can I just say you are a consummate professional? The dog licked your hand that entire time.
Yeah, he's the worst.
Yeah.
But anyway,
he's gonna lay down now.
eventually the War for Mexican Independence happens. And the fort ends up falling to the Mexican rebels, and eventually it becomes, the state of Mexico. There was a lot of bloodshed during the war between the Spanish and the Mexican rebels at the time. Yeah. But eventually, that settled down, and the fort was still standing, and everything was doing pretty good until the Texas Revolution happened. So at that point, the Presidio La Bahia became under the command of a Texas colonel named James Fannin. And he stopped calling it the Presidio La Bahia because he was a white dude and it was hard to say.
Leah,
imagine.
Take notes.
He renamed it Fort Defiance, which is a lot easier for white people to say. Where have you been
this whole time? You should have just said Fort Defiance the entire time.
Well, because that is just a renaming of
Yeah, that's racist in and of itself.
That's just kind of racist, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to try to say it, but my apologies to anybody that actually speaks Spanish. Anyway, so Fort Defiance is what they're calling it, the Texans. And unfortunately, they were not doing very well. They were running really low on supplies. They were having problems with the weather. And they were supposed to be able to go and help the people at the Alamo that clearly weren't doing great either, if you remember those stories.
I do.
Yeah, and so they were supposed to be offering support.
I remember the Alamo stories.
So if you're... shut up. Anyway, they were unable to actually help out in that situation, and eventually it was so bad at the Fort Defiance that they were going to have to abandon ship as well, and they were going to sort of fall back with their troops to the neighboring town of Victoria. So they get all of their shit together, and they're about to leave Fort Defiance and leave it up for the Mexican troops to take over. Unfortunately for the Texans, the troops that were there had barely left the gates when they were captured by the Mexican general Jose de Uria. I'm not sure how you say that last name, but the general ended up catching all of these dudes trying to flee from this fort, and so he captures them all and keeps them as prisoners. So he kind of rounds them back up and is like, you're not leaving the fort this easy. This fort is now a prison. Fuck all of you. So he keeps these guys imprisoned there in their own fort, and he's the commander now, and eventually, he ends up getting a presidential order from the president of Mexico saying, hey, you're going to execute every single one of these fuckers because they're bad guys, and kill them all. And the Mexican general was like, that is not going to happen. That is basically like a horrendous war crime, and I'm not killing 400 dudes. Absolutely not. So the president was like, well, if you're not going to do it, one of your lieutenants will. And of course, one of his lieutenants was like, fuck yeah, I will. So his lieutenant ends up basically becoming the one in charge because he was willing to massacre hundreds of people.
Yeah, Leah, sometimes you gotta crack some eggs.
So he ends up taking the order, and he takes Fannin and his men, and he divides them up into groups, and they're scheduled to be murdered. Well, killed, executed. Executed is probably the right word for that. But Jesus. It ends up being called the Goledad Massacre. But in the middle of all of this, there was a woman named Francita Alves, and she was the wife of another officer in General Uria's guard or whatever. And she was like, look, we cannot kill all of these fucking people. This is an absolute travesty, a human rights violation. I mean, they wouldn't have called it that back then, but she was not okay with killing 400 people just for funsies because some dude said to. So she argued for mercy for the prisoners, and she went around, got to know some of the men, and she ends up successfully arguing for the lives of 20 of the men because they either have they're good at translating English, or they're good at they have medical skills or knowledge, or they have whatever. So she ends up getting sort of clemency for 20 of these men. And then apparently she was also able to hide and smuggle out an unknown other number of men from this group, So she's attempting to save lives, to keep these men from actually being killed while all of this is going on.
Mm-hmm.
So shot in the dark.
Oh, it's time. Oh, okay. You want one of these too?
Sure.
Okay.
Because of her good deeds, Mrs. Olives gained a nickname, and there's actually a statue dedicated in her honor in the plaza there today. So what was she called?
Okay.
Was she called A, the Angel of Golidad, B, the Mother of Golidad, or C, the Savior of Golidad?
Oh, shit. Did I spill some?
You did.
Fuck. Here, hold on. Shit. I'm going to say the Mother of Golidad.
You're incorrect. It was the Angel of Golidad.
Well, God damn it. Also, your dog won't shut the fuck up over there.
All of our dogs are being assholes right now.
The big dog is she's going, Mama, wrap it up.
The big dog wants to go out or have her butt scratched. The little one just wants to drink shots. It's a problem.
Yeah, he's licking everything, and it's a real problem. Dobby, number one, there's chocolate in this.
You can't do that, bub.
Number two, I don't care if you get drunk. You're old enough, but you can't. We
do not give our dogs alcohol, y'all. That is not okay.
No.
Anyway, although we were at the beer store buying beer for the show, and we saw a dog beer that was really funny. It was just packaging of like a broth or something that you could add to your dog's dry food, but it was packaged as doggy beer, and it was cute.
It was very cute. You ready to take shots?
Sure.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
My
Samus,
big dog
that's
is
enough,
such an
sweetheart.
asshole.
You are so loud. We're in the middle of something, Samus. Quiet on set.
So, yeah, she became known as the Angel of Golidad, and there is a statue there still in her honor. But even though the general refused, to kill all of those people, unfortunately, the other dude was like, sure, not a problem, I'll kill him. And the majority of the men, over 400 men, were ended up being massacred there on the spot. So
she was like the Oscar Schindler of this.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So the men that were too injured to walk ended up being dragged to the quad out there. The people who survived the initial shots were beaten and stabbed to death. They also said that about 28 people escaped the initial shot kind of situation and escaped being stabbed by hiding amongst the corpses and pretending to be dead. So it was a really, really, really bad situation. And so Fannin, the Texan general himself, was the last one. So they forced him to sit and watch the rest of his men be massacred. Mm-hmm. And after all of that had happened, they took him to the courtyard of the chapel. They sat him in a chair because he had a wounded leg. And he requested, hey, just shoot me in the heart, give me a Christian burial, send my watch to my family. Instead of doing any of that, surprise, surprise, the soldiers that were performing the execution shot him in the face, stole his watch, and burned his body.
Look, it's not funny.
It's not funny at all.
But when you put it like that.
Yeah, they did the exact opposite of everything that he...
stole his watch. That's what got me.
Stole his watch. Can you take this dog?
Also, no, he's fine.
Please,
also,
I'm really trying to get my work done,
come here,
and
bud.
this dog is in the way.
Dobby, come here. But also, if we're going to pick where we're going to be shot, I'm definitely not picking the body. Shoot me in the head. End it immediately.
But shooting him in the heart would have ended it immediately. Shooting him in the face, there's a lot of people that end up surviving facial shots.
Yeah, not the face, but the forehead, Yeah,
they shot him in the face. Anyway, but he died. And so...
I can't reach him. I tried. I can't reach him. Dobby, come here.
I'm very frustrated with the amount of animals on this table.
Samus. Oh my God, y'all. This is the most unprofessional one we've done so far.
This is really bad.
The dog will not leave us alone.
Yeah, it's your fault, Mitchell.
No, the big one is.
So, anyway, Our Lady of Loretto is still a chapel today. It still holds weekly services. People get married there. But part of the chapel also has a, like the officers' quarters from the area, like from the original fort, and you can actually rent out to spend the night there, kind of like a creepy B&B situation. And apparently people that stay there say that you can hear lots of creepy disembodied things. So they say that you can hear the cries of babies, you can hear sort of spooky church organ music, sometimes you can hear a women's choir. Apparently the bells in the chapel are like they chime at all sorts of bizarre times and in the wrong order, and just weird shit happens with the chimes. Apparently there's a ghost that's a woman lighting a candle. Excuse me.
Oh, what was that?
It was a hiccup. There's also a woman in white that wanders around the courtyard, and apparently she's looking for like someone's name on a grave and she can't find it. There are supposedly spectral monks and friars that hang out around there. But yeah, a lot of people say that the most active place that you can find that excuse me, the Fannin, that's his name, the Texan General Fannin. It was actually his quarters, I guess, where you can actually rent out to stay. Mm-hmm. And people say that sometimes you'll see his ghost in there. Like I said, you get a lot of like distant gunfire, some war noises kind of situation. Generally speaking, it's just supposed to be a super creepy, uncomfortable kind of feeling. Mm-hmm. And apparently there's also out on the quad where most of the people were executed in the massacre. They say that like vultures will still flock to this area in like an absurd numbers, even if there's nothing dead there, just because people aren't sure if like there's like a lingering scent of blood there, or if it's just sort of like the vultures know that there was like ghost meat hanging out. Like they're not sure. Meat. I mean, it's like a weird.
The ghost meat is on the back of the ghost.
Yeah, it used living to be, high on the ghost meat.
Yeah, it used to be the belly ghost meat.
Yeah,
that people like.
It's just supposed to be like you see an abnormal number of vultures that are still known to flock there, and it makes people incredibly uncomfortable. And so, yeah, that's just sort of the creepy, no thank you kind of situations for it. I just, the whole thing, I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't like it. Anyway, so, excuse me, that information, obviously, we've got a Wikipedia. They have their own, website themselves. It's presidolabahia.org, and they have a Facebook page too. And then there's I said Wikipedia already, and then it was, and I didn't write down the third one. Why didn't I write down the third one?
Because you weren't going to pronounce it correctly anyway.
Shit. Hold on, let me look it up. You say something fun and I'll tell you where it was.
Something fun. MLB The Show 21 came out a couple days ago. Been doing that because it's not free but included with Xbox Game Pass, so I didn't have to pay for it. That's nice. I've been doing that for the last couple days. So, like, if patrons, if you haven't gotten stickers and stuff, well, I've been busy. You know, like, we still have those to do, but, you know, there's been other pressing matters. Schoolwork's done for this semester, so I can just play the show every day when I get home. Although we do have to go to the gym. We have to go exercise. So whenever Leah gets ready, we usually have to eat first, because Leah doesn't like to eat late because it gives her heartburn while she sleeps. So
you literally don't have to tell anybody any of this.
You told me to do something fun.
Interesting, fun, not my wife gets heartburn if she eats after 8. What the fuck? So unnecessary.
You don't want people to know that?
I mean, I don't care if people know that. That's just not interesting in the least.
If you see us out and about, don't offer us snacks after 8 o'clock.
I think it was austinmonthly.com, but I could be wrong, and now I feel bad about it. Shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Now I feel bad about it.
You're going to get cited for plagiarism.
Probably. God, shit. Oh, this sucks. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I accept your apology.
Anyway, those were some of my sources, but apparently I'm just a big old plage.
And Wikipedia.
And I apologize. And Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Apologize for that. Anyway. Toasty? Toast?
You ready to do a toast?
Yeah. I'm a little inebriated. Might as well.
You can hit us with it.
Okay. Everybody hoist your mason jar full of melted daiquiri high into the sky. Woo. Woo.
I'm not hoisting anything.
All right. If you're going to Queens and Charlotte, NC, beware of apparitions, but the scariest thing you'll likely see there is a bill for your tuition.
Oh.
Centuries of bloodshed haunt this chilling Texas fort. Ghostly encounters will send you running to the nearest airport. That was real bad, and I'm sorry.
Leah, Jesus.
Didn't even try.
Would you like me to talk about something fun while you write a second stanza?
Fuck off.
Jesus Christ.
Look, it was bad. I realized that the timing is off, but I'm very tired and I'm a little drunk, and my arm feels like someone stabbed it.
Yeah. Well, they
'Cause they
did
did.
yesterday. Yeah, of course. They stabbed it.
With something larger than a hypodermic needle, all right?
With medicine.
It hurts.
Yeah.
And I'm tired.
Yeah. The shot really does have significant arm pain.
Yeah.
Like more than any other vaccine or shot I've ever gotten.
Honestly,
so.
I think the tetanus shot is worse if you've ever had tetanus shots.
When I was real little.
Yeah. I think tetanus shots are worse. They had a worse effect on my arm. Like, most of my arm pain is, like, generally just in the sort of the, like, right here where it was sort of the upper arm where I was actually, injected. Tetanus hurt all the way down into my fingies. Like, it was bad. I did not like the tetanus shots any times I've ever had them. Those were bad. No, thank you. 0 out of 10 would not recommend unless they're required, which they were for me. But yeah, it's not a great shot. I don't love it. I do have sort of flu-like symptoms on the second day, but you
had them yesterday, day of.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
So,
but I think it's just a thing that everybody should do if they can. If you're eligible, go seek out an injection if you can. It's pretty great to be vaccinated. So
yeah,
it doesn't feel great the first couple of days, but the peace of mind that you have after it happens is pretty great.
It's better than everything else.
Yeah.
So involved with it.
Precisely. So, I encourage you to look in and see if you are eligible for a shot if you can. And if you can't, sorry, all the more reason that we should, vaccinate ourselves if we can, so we can help the people that aren't able to. So
this message brought to you by the substantial amount of money the CDC put in our bank accounts.
Yeah, they didn't. But, if they want to, I will totally be a vaccine shill. I don't mind.
Yeah.
I
would love to get some money for it. I got vaccinated. I got fully vaccinated in February.
Yeah.
And so I've been living free and clear. I've been going naked everywhere.
He has not.
Yet.
But yeah, so we're just excited to be fully vaccinated so we can responsibly go places again. So it'll be fun.
I'm very excited about it personally. So anyway, y'all, go do that, I guess, like Leah said. Everything that Leah said. And then let us know about it on all of our social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Leah still hasn't done any TikToks in a little while.
I'm sorry. The whole just...
everything.
Life has been kind of fuckery lately, and I'm trying, and I'm not doing great at it.
You owe no one an explanation. Send us an email, southernspiritspodcast@gmail.com, giving Leah all the hell for not doing TikToks.
If you give me hell, I will block you because I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. But I love you. I respect you, but...
Join the Possum Passel, patreon.com/Southern Spirits Podcast. Send us a postcard or anything else fun to P.O. Box 1743, Hartselle, Alabama, 35640. Is that it, Leah? Is there anything I forgot?
That's everything.
All right. Well, you know what, y'all? This was a much more chill episode this week.
A little drunk.
I did not.
Very tired.
I did not get near as blackout drunk as I got last time.
We appreciate it, Mitchell.
Who?
Me specifically, but everybody in general.
Well, Everyone out there, I apologize, but I'm sure you had a great time just like I did. And let me know if you went out and bought any Body Glide. I need to submit that to the company. I need to tell them, hey, look, you give us the same amount of money the CDC has given us for vaccine shilling.
They already have.
Which is, zero. Both of them have submitted $0 so far. Make out the check to Trash Adjacent Productions. We'll talk about it. All right, well, we will see y'all next time.
Bye, y'all.